This is Nightline and I'm Muhammed. Hamdan. News making the headlines. Approval for unsafe vehicles. MACC to investigate allegation. And Pinkfish concert tragedy. 4 dead victims suspected to have taken ecstasy. Good morning. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC will investigate allegations that staff at the Computerized Vehicle Inspection Centre PUSPAKOM were involved in approving unsafe vehicles if elements of corruption are found. Its Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azambaki said on Thursday that they are currently awaiting the results of the Road Transport Department RTD's investigation, which is expected to take 2 weeks.
Saya nakkan semua laporan teknikal tu diserahkan kepada SPM. Itu saya dah bincang dengan Ketua Pengarah JBJ dan daripada laporan tu kita akan meneliti dan ada mungkin angle yang boleh kita masuk untuk kita siasat di bawah alta SPM ataupun di bawah kandung kesihatan.
Previously, it was reported that 2 PUSPAKOM staff members were questioned at the RTD headquarters in Putrajaya after allegedly approving a vehicle that was later deemed unsafe by the department during a nationwide surprise inspection on Monday. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Anthony Loke said his ministry will work closely with the MACC to address integrity issues within PUSPAKOM's vehicle inspection services. This follows the investigation into allegations that PUSPAKOM staff had approved a vehicle which was later deemed unsafe by RTD.
According to Loke, in addition to integrity issues, the ministry will also investigate syndicates offering illegal services to help vehicle owners pass PUSPAKOM inspections. On another matter, Loke said the ministry is finalizing the approval process for applications from over 10 companies seeking licenses to conduct periodic motor vehicle inspections across the country.
Tetapi pengendali baru ini apabila mendapat lesen, mereka juga perlukan masa untuk buat fasiliti mereka, untuk bina fasiliti mereka. Jadi kita harap mungkin dalam penghujung tahun ini kita lihat ada operator baru.
The decision to expand the number of service operators follows the government's move to end the 3-decade monopoly held by PUSPAKOM. Loke added that although the government's concession agreement with PUSPAKOM ended on August 31st, the company is still permitted to continue its operations as usual.
Now, PUSPAKOM has confirmed that 4 employees from its Wangsa Maju branch have been summoned by RTD for questioning over allegations that a vehicle was approved despite not meeting standards. Its Chief Executive Officer Mahmud Razak Bahman said that 2 of them were summoned on Tuesday, while the other 2 provided their statements on Thursday morning.
According to Mahmud, the 4 staff members were involved in inspecting the vehicle in question. 2 of them approved the vehicle, while the other 2 failed it during the inspection. Based on their internal probe, the vehicle had faulty windscreen wipers.
Wiper ini diluluskan oleh kaki tangan pada hari kedua kerana dia dah melihat, tapi ada satu kesilapan dia. Dia tidak melihat secara fizikal. Maknanya wiper tersebut ada dah repot lah sikit. Ya, ada bahagian yang repot, jadi itulah yang menjadi masalah dia. Dia bukan masalah brake lah, masalah wiper.
Mahmud also stated that all the staff involved had no prior disciplinary records and no issues at the workplace. He added that PUSPAKOM will conduct a thorough internal investigation once it has received a full report from RTD.
More than 402,000 candidates for the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM 2024 began sitting for their written examination, which started on Thursday. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq stated that the attendance rate of candidates stood at 97% at the start of the exam.
Fadlina said that her ministry is still in the process of updating attendance data from over 3,000 examination centres across the country.
Kehadiran setakat ini, anak-anak kita yang mengambil peperiksaan sudah pun mencecah 97%. Ini kehadiran yang baik, maknanya kita sedang masih lagi dalam proses untuk update. Ya, masih ada lagi yang belum maknanya mengenal pasti dan mengesahkan kehadiran mereka, ada lebih kurang 10,000 lagi.
She added that the ministry was also prepared to activate Op Payung in the event of floods to assist affected candidates and examination personnel. A total of 5,780 volunteer examination personnel, including retired teachers, have been appointed to assist throughout the examination period.
Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi has urged the Rural and Regional Development Ministry to review its policies and plans to stay on track in developing rural communities. Zahid, who is also its minister, cited the Rural Development Policy 2030 and the Rural and Regional Development Ministry 2025 Strategic Plan.
Saya ingin mengarahkan Uni KL bagi menjalankan kajian menyeluruh mengenai tahap kepuasan rakyat terhadap penyediaan keperluan asas, kemudahan asas dan usaha untuk memangkinkan sosioekonomi kawasan perdesaan.
The findings, he said, are crucial to ensure the ministry's plans remain relevant and impactful. Zahid also called on the ministry to collaborate with independent research bodies to evaluate its plans and policies. The 4 people who died after attending the Pinkfish Countdown event at Sunway Lagoon on December 31st are expected to have taken ecstasy. According to police, 2 others are still receiving treatment in the intensive care unit ICU.
In a statement on Thursday, Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Han said they are still awaiting the toxicology analysis report for confirmation. The 4 who died were among 7 people admitted to Kuala Lumpur Hospital and University Malaya Medical Centre after showing the same symptoms. He said the 7 did not attend the concert together but were present separately with friends and family members. Besides the 2 individuals in the ICU, another has been discharged. Police have recorded statements from 6 witnesses and several others will be called to assist in the investigation, including the concert organisers and the victims' friends. Police have opened 4 sudden death investigation papers but are still working to determine if there was any criminal element involved, including whether they had been poisoned. The concert organizer meanwhile pledged to give full support and cooperation with police in the ongoing investigation into the deaths of the 4 individuals. In a statement, Pinkfish's management claimed that it received confirmation from police that the deaths occurred outside the event's premises. It also reassured members of the public that strict precautions were taken at its recent events, including deploying more than 100 police officers, trained security personnel and K9 units at all entrance points. The organizer said it was deeply saddened by the tragic incident which resulted in the loss of 4 lives.
On a separate matter, Hussein said the decomposed body found in Banting has been identified as that of missing teenager Yap Sinuan. The identity was confirmed after a DNA test matched her with her mother.
Hussein said that the 3 suspects detained, including the victim's boyfriend, have been remanded until January 5th, but police expect to extend it further. The motive behind the murder is still under investigation. It was reported that a decomposed body had been found in Banting, and police believe it is linked to the disappearance of a 15-year-old girl earlier this month. The body was found on December 28th, and the victim's boyfriend has been arrested. Yap Sinuan was reported missing on December 19th after lion dance practice at a basketball court in Batu Sebelas Ceras. The case has now been classified as murder.
In Negeri Sembilan, a contractor has claimed trial at the Seremban Magistrates Court to 6 charges of cheating and misappropriation of 116,000 ringgit belonging to a man. 44-year-old Said Zulhairi Zainuddin pleaded not guilty after the charges were read to him before Magistrate Syed Farid Said Ali. For the first 3 charges, the accused allegedly cheated the 46-year-old victim by getting him to invest 40,000 ringgit in a non-existent investment scheme. For the other 3 charges, he allegedly misappropriated 76,000 ringgit belonging to the same victim. The offences were allegedly committed between January 26 and 31st, 2024 at Taman Pulai Impian in Sikamat. Magistrate Said Farid offered the accused a total bail of 18,000 ringgit and fixed February 4th for remention. In Johor, 2 former prison inmates, including one who had just been released from prison 3 days ago for robbery, faced the Muar Sessions Court on Thursday for committing the same crime again last week. Muhammad Azwan Maula Hashim, 37, and Muhammad Nizamuddin Norizan, 34, who had served 3 and 2 years in prison respectively, pleaded guilty after the charges were read before Judge Sayani Muhammad Noor. According to the charges, they robbed a 44-year-old man, a grocery shop owner who is also a person with disabilities, by threatening him with a saw knife in Parit Pulai, Tangka on the afternoon of December 26. The accused were charged under the Penal Code, which carries a penalty of up to 20 years in prison and whipping. The court sentenced each of the accused to 10 years in prison and 3 strokes of the cane. The Employees Provident Fund EPF is expected to deliver a higher dividend of up to 6% for conventional savings and 5.8% for Sharia savings in 2024. This is driven by better investment returns in the global bond market as well as the recovery of the domestic economy. For 2023, the EPF announced a dividend of 5.5% for conventional savings and 5.4% for Sharia savings. Economic analyst Muhammad Khair Afam said that stable economic growth, projected at 4.5 to 5% for 2024, will have a positive impact on the performance of domestic companies that are part of EPF's portfolio. Investments in the technology, real estate and international markets also show significant potential to support the dividend rate. This, along with the performance of investments in Sharia-compliant instruments and EPF's diversification strategy, further supports the expected increase. The Plantation and Commodities Ministry, KPK, has found that there are still premises selling products with discriminatory labelling against palm oil or DLAPO. This is despite the fact that the regulation banning the use of such labels has been in effect since March 2022. According to KPK, the 2-year transition period provided should have been sufficient for companies and premises to remove the products from the market. Therefore, the ministry has urged the involved parties to completely cease any form of importation and the sale of such products. Those found guilty along the supply chain face strict action that includes fines of up to 250,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 5 years. Singapore's economy grew 4% in 2024, comfortably beating forecasts. The country's Trade and Industry Ministry said on Thursday that gross domestic product GDP expanded 4.3% in the October to December period, lifting full-year growth to its strongest performance since 2011, excluding the post-COVID-19 pandemic rebound in 2021. Officials in the Southeast Asian nation had in November forecast growth for the year at about 3.5%. Manufacturing expanded 4.2% in the last quarter, while construction and services grew 5.9% and 4.3% respectively. Asian stocks began the year on a dour note on Thursday as they struggled for traction after a jittery close to 2024. While global shares closed out 2024 with a strong yearly gain of nearly 16%, they had clocked a monthly loss of more than 2% in December. The same was the case for MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan, which slid 1.2% in December, though registered a gain of more than 7% for 2024. The index was last down 0.58% in the Asian session, with volume thinned given a trading holiday in Japan. Chinese stocks were battered, with the CSI 300 Blue Chip Index last down 2.65%, while the Shanghai Composite Index lost 2.36%. Elsewhere, South Korea's Kospi was flat. The index was Asia's worst performer in 2024, with a loss of more than 22% in dollar terms. Vietnam breaks 27-year winless streak against Thailand. Sports after this breather.
Was a fine balance. Dia bawa kita on this journey, mendengar lagu ni dari start sampai habis tu, ada climax dia, ada crescendo dia. So well done, well done.
Pembawaan kau udah fun, cuman kembali lagi kalau kita dengan movement seperti itu, kita bisa lebih jaga lagi.
I dapat rasa tonight you try to do more, macam with the feelings and emotions. I rasa kalau you tone down sikit dah okay dah.
Is it too personal, sayang? It was murder.
Leadership, equality and safety.
We are here as the ministry is the one that really makes sure that the women are okay. Now it is our duty to ensure that they know about their rights. So we are here, so not just for men, children, because everything is under us, you know, from womb to tomb.
Join us as we empower women
at every level.
Catch Women Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m.
only at TV3.
Stream now on Tonton.
Makanan eksotik pasti ada peminat-peminat yang tersendiri, tapi apakah khasiatnya?
Meraihkan pahit manis juga kejayaan yang dilakari negara sepanjang tahun 2024.
2025, azam baru, semangat baru dan juga jati diri yang lebih jitu.
Semua nak bawa keluarga pergi melancongkan, tapi kalau kita kena scam, apa hak kita sebagai mangsa?
Dan dilema belanja sekolah dan belanja hari raya kita rungkaikan dalam Soal Wang.
Malaysia hari ini setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat jam 10 pagi.
Stream ditonton juga eksklusif di TV3.
Pantang buat kamu nemuin mereka.
Masalah kalau Wawan jadi penari.
Apa orang seperti saya ini masih bisa bertobat?
Allah akan selalu menerima taubat hambanya.
Saya bisa ngerasain partnya apa yang Allah kasih dari ayat-ayat Al-Quran.
Janganlah sedikit pun kamu merasa dipersulit. Jadikan sholat dan sabar sebagai penolong.
Mau minjem uang?
Ini kesempatan baik buat aku ngancurin pacar.
Sama-sama refleksi diri di slot naluri setiap Jumaat 3 petang di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Kena kenal siapa mewah ni, barulah kita boleh strategize macam mana kita nak menang hati mewah.
You stop I kan? I akan report polis.
Kalau kau nak buat keputusan mana yang paling terbaik untuk kau, solat istiqamah.
I nak you kuat. Kalau you kuat, I akan kuat juga.
Antara Dua Syurga mulai 3 Januari, Jumaat dan Sabtu 9 malam. Terbaru di Lestari TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
We're back with sports. Football, the AFF ASEAN Championship. Vietnam broke their 27 winless streak at home against Thailand with a hard-fought 2-1 victory in their first leg of the final on Thursday night. After a goalless first half, Vietnam broke the deadlock through Raffleson, who headed home on the hour mark. The 27-year-old then scored his second goal in the 73rd minute to make it 2-0. Defending champions Thailand refused to go down as they fought harder, but were only able to score a consolation goal through Chalamsak Aoki's strike 10 minutes before the final whistle. The second leg of the match will take place in Thailand on Sunday. Turning to tennis, the United Cup, Iga Świątek showcased her resilience to lead Poland into the semi-final with a dominant 3-0 win against Great Britain on Thursday.
Hubert Hurkacz opened the tie with a dominant display, defeating Billy Harris in straight sets 7-6, 7-5 in 1 hour and 46 minutes to give Poland a 1-0 lead. World number 1 Świątek then secured Poland's spot in the last four as she clawed back from a set down to beat Katie Boulter 6-7, 6-1, 6-4 after 3 hours on court. With the tie already decided, Poland's Maja Czwalinska and Jan Zielinski closed out the 3-0 win with an impressive 6-2, 7-6 victory against Olivia Nichols and Charles Broom. Up next, Poland will face Kazakhstan in the last four for a place in the final.
And still on tennis, the Brisbane international Novak Djokovic was in imperious form as he demolished Gael Monfils to reach the quarterfinals on Thursday.
While Djokovic and Monfils engaged in an entertaining encounter, the 37-year-old Serb maintained control throughout the match, ultimately securing a 6-3, 6-3 win over the Frenchman after more than an hour on court. Former world number 1 Djokovic next plays giant American Riley Opelka. Earlier, Opelka reached his first ATP Tour quarterfinal since 2022 after claiming a straight sets victory against Italian Matteo Arnaldi. The American struck 25 aces en route to defeating Arnaldi 7-6, 7-6. In another action, Czech Jakub Menšik became the 4th youngest quarterfinalist in tournament history when he moved past Serbian lucky loser Dusan Lajovic 6-3, 6-2 in just 66 minutes. The world number 48 will take on Frenchman Giovanni Mpetshi Pericard next.
Mass shooting at New York nightclub injures 10. The details when Nightline returns.
This is Kopi Soda 1 in a Million. Sejuta soda, satu juara.
Bertemakan rasa paling indah. Minggu ini 10 terbaik bakal bertarung. Saksikan konsert ketiga Kopi Soda 1 in a Million dengan persembahan Hakim and the Magistrate, Aina Abdul dan penampilan juri jemputan Ernie Zakri. 5 Januari 2025, Ahad ini 9 malam.
Oi.
Ayah.
Aku asyik terfikir kejadian tadi yang tiba-tiba budak muda tu muncul.
Wahaya.
Rashid datang rumah.
Rashid tak nak cari pengganti Sarah ke?
Semua ni punca daripada kau. Woi, jangan lagi.
Polis Peronda setiap Jumaat 10 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Wanita hari ini.
Pelbagai perkara berlaku sepanjang tahun ini.
Kami kongsikannya dalam rangkuman 2024.
Siaran masakan WHI antara yang menjadi kegemaran.
Kami bawakan anda menu tular pada tahun ini.
Kali pertama, setiap orang akan melaluinya.
Siaran pertama 2025 kami bawakan khas untuk anda.
Sakit dada, kebas tangan, adakah itu petanda sakit jantung?
Ketahuinya dalam perbincangan minggu ini.
Ada kalanya kemesraan antara ipar duai tidak dititik beratkan.
Penting untuk menjaga batas antara ipar.
Semuanya menarik di WHI.
Dan stream sekarang ditonton.
3 identiti, 1 misi. Si ayah, seorang pelisik. Si ibu, pembunuh upah. Dan si anak dengan kuasa telepati. Berpura-pura menjadi keluarga, tetapi ada rahsia yang disembunyikan. Saksikan Spy X Family setiap Ahad 11 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Tahun baru, semangat baru untuk gaya hidup yang sihat.
Yang paling penting, kita kena set objektif. Jangan terus set masa tahun 25 nak lost 30 kilo dalam masa sebulan.
Hangat-hangat teh ayam, bagaimana untuk kekal konsisten?
Di sebalik kegairahan untuk mengejar azam 2025, kita kena tahu tahap kita dan kita tak boleh follow je kawan-kawan. Dan kita buat secara berkadaran.
2025, cergas dan fit kami bincangkan dalam Hina Doktor Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Saksikan Kopi Soda 1 in a Million untuk peluang memenangi sebuah Peugeot Landtrek setiap minggu, setiap Ahad bermula 22 Disember hingga 2 Februari. Tonton dan ikuti langkah mudah ini. Imbas kod QR yang tertera di sepanjang rancangan dan jawab soalan-soalan yang diberikan. Maklumat lanjut di tonton.com.my /Kopi Soda OIAM TV3. Kopi Soda 1 in a Million, sejuta soda, satu juara.
Welcome back to the foreign front. Impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol on Thursday has continued to resist arrest for a third day following his impeachment over a failed martial law bid. Yoon remained defiantly inside his residence and vowed to fight authorities seeking to question him. He also issued a statement vowing to fight to the end against what he called anti-state forces. In the meantime, Yoon's legal team has filed for an injunction to block the warrant and claimed that the arrest order was an unlawful and invalid act. However, the Corruption Investigation Office warned that anyone trying to block authorities from arresting Yoon could themselves face prosecution.
Meanwhile, South Korea's Constitutional Court held an inauguration ceremony for 2 new justices on Thursday, paving the way for an accelerated impeachment trial of Yoon. Cho Han-chang and Jung Gai-seong were appointed by acting President Choi Sang-mok on Tuesday, and their inauguration will bring the number of justices to 8. The court is now set to decide the fate of both Yoon and Prime Minister Han Duck-soo on whether to oust them from their positions completely or restore their powers. According to the country's constitution, only 6 of its 9 justices are required to agree on the ousting of an impeached president.
At least 11 Palestinians have been killed on Thursday in Zionist airstrikes on tents housing displaced people in a designated humanitarian safe zone in southern Gaza. The pre-dawn attack in the Al-Mawasi area, which Israeli military declared a safe zone, is reported to have resulted in the killing of 3 children and 2 women among the 11 who died. It was also reported that 15 people were also wounded in the attack, though there were no details on their condition. Meanwhile, the Zionist regime did not comment on its latest attack on the humanitarian area, which has been targeted relentlessly by its warplanes. A gunman suspected of killing a dozen people in the Montenegrin city of Cetinje was confirmed to have died early on Thursday morning. According to local media, the shooting spree occurred on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. local time after a fight broke out at a restaurant the suspect was in. Police said he shot and killed the bar owner and his children, and even members of his own family. The gunman then left the restaurant, shooting and killing 2 more children on the street. However, the suspect then committed suicide after the attack, after police showed up to his residence. The attack claimed the lives of at least 12 people and critically injured 4 others. In the meantime, just hours after the New Orleans attack, at least 10 people were injured in a mass shooting in the New York City borough of Queens on Wednesday. Officials said the incident occurred near the Amazura nightclub in the neighborhood of Queens. They stated that about 90 people were inside the nightclub, with 15 others waiting outside during the mass shooting. 4 men walking down the street then opened fire, shooting more than 30 times at the group waiting outside before fleeing in a light-colored vehicle. As a result, 10 people, comprising 6 women and 4 men, were injured and have been taken to nearby hospitals for treatment. Officials noted that none of the injuries are life-threatening and all victims are expected to recover. Before we leave, let's take a look as thousands of runners gathered at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate to start the new year off on the right foot. With that, I'm Ahmad and Hamdan. Thanks for watching and stay safe.